From beating down the scariest heavyweights around to announcing the fact that he'll face off against Anthony Joshua for free, Tyson Fury always manages to make headlines. So, what's he in the news for this time? Well, after Fury's bout with Anthony Joshua got scrapped for the umpteenth time, he decided to pitch a fight against Oleksandr Usyk.
AJ straight right. Usyk may just want to scamper around till he hears the bell.
However, the fight comes with a twist, and that's the fact that Fury wants there to be a no rematch clause in the contract. Why he wants that is a mystery to us all. But at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm speaking for every boxing fan out there when I say we'll take whatever we can get. It's been so long since we've seen Fury step anywhere near a ring.
Look at Wilder again. The right hand that connected for Fury, and he may have busted the eardrum of Deontay Wilder.
And a fight with Usyk might just be what the doctor ordered. Both men are extremely high-level fighters, and their bout is going to draw a crowd. You have to wonder who'll end up coming out on top. For now, though, I'm sure we're all just hoping that this fight ends up happening, because let's face it, with Fury's current track record, there's not a lot of hope going around.
Usyk or Joyce might be next for Tyson Fury. But there must be so much respect in there. There are boos around the stadium.
Though you have to ask yourself whether this fight even makes sense. I mean, Fury was supposed to face off against Joshua, right? Well, that's a yes and a no. See, Fury was initially supposed to face off against Anthony Joshua. The fight almost ended up happening. Fury was so confident in his abilities and ready to throw gloves against him that he even offered to go through the fight for free.
Not just being like confident, 6'9" frame. 270-pound weight, can move like a middleweight.
However, for some unknown reason, the two men decided to call off the fight and cut their losses. I'm not gonna lie, when I heard that their bout had been canceled yet again, I was pretty bummed out. Still, there may be a silver lining to look for. You might be wondering how we went from having Fury fight Joshua to facing off against Usyk. Well, you see, the Ukrainian phenom went up against the enigmatic Brit last summer. Things didn't pan out so well for the latter, and Usyk ended up emerging the victor.
Oleksandr Usyk putting in the performance of a lifetime. Back on the legs. And back on the legs. The champ is in real trouble here in round 3.
Heavyweight champion of the world, the fighting pride of Ukraine.
With that in mind, you have to ask yourself why Fury would even consider fighting the loser. He's going to chase the money fight, which in this case would be a bout against Usyk. With that being said, you're probably wondering how the negotiations have been going so far. Well, they've been moving slowly, but we're finally getting somewhere. At first, the negotiations between the two parties were almost non-existent. However, in the past few weeks, things have ramped up quite a bit. In fact, according to inside sources, a lot of the terms have been agreed on. There's even been a date set, though it's not official yet, for the 29th of April.
You are next. Me and you shall connect. Me and you. You get me, little rabbit.
Now, with so much going on, you have to wonder whether the fight is happening or not. Well, let's look at the facts. Both men have agreed to a 70-30 per split, with Usyk getting the latter. Now, it's weird that he agreed to such a low fee for the bout. However, it's clear that his intentions are honorable. He asked for the Brit to donate £1 million from his purse to the Ukrainian war effort.
But you will promise to donate to Ukrainian immediately after the fight.
It's important to remember that Tyson hasn't agreed to this specific clause yet. However, he'll probably end up going for it considering the insane social points he'll get. With so many things having been set in stone, you have to wonder why Fury is trying so hard to have a no rematch clause put into place.
Worry about the fight, April 29th, no rematch clause, the winner takes the glory.
Maybe he's afraid of going up against Usyk the next time around? Well, that's the logical conclusion to draw from this. See, Usyk isn't just any old small fish. If anything, he's the other shark in Tyson's pond. So, when there's someone out there as lethal as him, you can be sure that Tyson's going to be smart about the whole thing. However, it's likely Usyk won't go for a fight where he can't get a rematch with the fighter. On the off chance that Fury ends up winning, and if it's set up as a title fight, Usyk won't get a chance to fight for his belts. That also allows Tyson to make history. If the emotions run high enough, Usyk might end up placing all of his belts on the line. In which case, if Tyson emerges victorious, victorious, with the no rematch clause in place, he'll be the undisputed champion and the proud owner of 4 championship belts. That's insane to think about.
The Gypsy King, Tyson Fury!
If that's truly what Fury is planning, then you have to applaud the man for his craftiness. This leads us to wonder how the talk of adding a no rematch clause started up in the first place. From what I can tell, it's all Fury's doing. It's pretty obvious that boxing fans are growing tired of the constant back and forth between these two parties. I mean, come on, almost everything has been decided, and there really shouldn't be a reason for the fight to not go through. However, here comes Fury with an outlandish clause, and everything ends up going to hell.
I'm standing. Usyk, you and your team are worth 30%. You either take it or you leave it.
That's how he managed to mess up his fights with Anthony Joshua. And that's what it's looking like for his fight against Oleksandr Usyk. It's almost as if Fury doesn't even want to fight him, unless it's completely on his terms.
Speaking to the lawyers today, and Usyk's people are talking about rematch clauses and all that bollocks.
If anything, that paints him in a pretty bad light in front of the boxing world. He's also setting a pretty bad example for young up-and-coming fighters, who might start pulling up with the same level of weird and outlandish demands. Regardless, let's take a second to think about the most important question of all. With all of these insane rules and clauses, will this fight even happen? When the dust settles, this is probably the one question that you want to be answered. Will the fight even end up happening? I mean, everything's great and all, but you want to know whether there's any chance of seeing these two behemoths go at it in the middle of the squared circle. Well, let's take a look at the facts, shall we? Fury has once again called for an insanely unacceptable clause to be placed in the contract. Now, from what I can tell, Usyk has given up almost everything he could at this point to ensure that the fight happens. Now, with the rise of this new demand, I don't think it's very likely that he'll be too keen on fighting Fury. It's a lose-lose situation. Fury would walk in there with virtually nothing to lose. Whereas, if Usyk gets defeated, his whole world would crumble around him. With such demands coming from Fury on a daily, it's no wonder that we rarely get to see him step into the ring.
Oh, body shot.
It hurt him, and he almost doubled over there.
To protect the fighter. Good job from Tyson Fury by acting like a fighter even though he's cut.
Who on earth would want to face him under such circumstances? There's no chance that he would be able to get anyone to agree to such terms. However, there's still a chance that we get to see Usyk bite the bullet and step into the ring regardless. If that ends up happening, you can be sure that we'll be seeing the beginning of Fury's heel arc, and Usyk will be the strong underdog in the fight. Whatever ends up happening, I know one thing's for sure, and that's the fact that the fight is going to be entertaining. All we can do now is wait and see what happens. Till then, sit tight, grab some popcorn, and let's get ready to rumble. And that was everything on why Tyson Fury doesn't want a rematch clause in his upcoming bout.